of stuff there. So it's a novelization of my experiences on the psychic frontier with Quentin Tarantino. Right? We're going about the movie critic. Right? This is the real story of the movie critic. And I was laughing my ass off because got me good. Right? So they say that writer's block is the warring of like the desire for honest writing against shame. Right? And so I could have not read those passages because it shows that like I was loving phantoms, but that's good writing, right? But that's right. Like this is the cost, I guess. It cost me a little bit of my sanity, right? To hold Quentin Tarantino accountable. And now that we're talking about him specifically, right? I feel it incumbent upon me, right, to say that I suspect he's going to use my scene when he gets his Lifetime Achievement Award at the Burbank International Film Festival in September. That's his last fuck you, and then he'll pay me his money without suing him, right? My point is that I was looking up everyone in his life yesterday. Right? In a palpable way. Right? And the one that comes up pretty quickly is named Stacy Scher. And so she's real tied into that whole crew. She knows who I am, 100%. Right? And so IMDb says, right, that the continuing adventures of Cliff Booth is shooting right now. Right? And I thought that was all bullshit. And it is bullshit, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's bullshit. There is no. Right? It's the movie critic. Right? And so the joke that I was making to myself was like tax permanence. Is there, right, that's funny, right? It's frivolous. Tax audit. Pretty funny. Oh, because you said, here's the piece of paper where you said it was one thing, but then actually it's another thing. Right? And so, what I'll say about it, and I'm about to do it right now, just so that, like, there's no misconceptions here. Right? What I'll say is that he, right, has done everything that he can to see that I expire. Can't stress that enough, right? And again, it's just like I said, right? There's the clear delineation to proving me insane, right? Release the conversation, right? Ask just anyone with a camera in front of them. Ask Robert De Niro about me. That's all. Easy. Right? This is not a convoluted, like, oh, you have to talk to this one guy and then the other guy. Like, no, boom, them two on stage. Ask the director of Tribeca, whatever that woman's name is. Right? So, anyway. The scene's about a writer. The movie critic's about a writer. Right? And I can't yell it like I would normally because there's a lot of echo in this room. You know? But I'm going to do this and then we'll keep talking. So, it goes like this. Listen up! Got something to say. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. So I'm going to say it real loud. I'm upset. Been upset all day. And what I realize is that what I am concerned about, whether or not it actually occurred, really is inconsequential. It has sent me into such a dizzying anxiety. I feel compelled to make myself explicitly clear. I get the feeling last night somebody took their well-manicured hands, smeared their fucking DNA all over this book, opened it up and had a nice little read. I'm a writer. This book is an extension of my soul. When you touch it, you violate me. I have the right to my thoughts. You have no right. No one has permission to read this book. You have permission to move it. You do not have permission to read it. I owe you nothing. So that's it. That's the scene, right? But it's... Now that's not 10% what it is. I can't scream at the top of my lungs. I can't do that here. There's the fundamental level, right? That I would like destroy the microphone that's recording this video right now, right? But on a broader level, right? It would make my mother miserable, who's just out of frame here. And it would make me miserable too, because it's really loud. It's just not, right? Brad Pitt ain't got shit on me, right? And the joke that I was thinking in my mind is, oh, he cast Timothy Chalamet, which would be funny, right? If he called me. So let's talk about the pages. Right? Let's talk about the pages. That day, I remember the exact day. I walked to Bartlett. And I slept in front of a Kroger on the concrete. And then I walked another day, and I got to this house that I was staying in when I read a lot of what I just read. And I know that I read some of it the last time as well, and that's okay, it doesn't matter. Right? But it was a lot. It was a lot. That was like around the time that it became obvious to me, like, oh, he wants me to die. Right? And he'll always deny it. It's not like, he has no honesty. He doesn't operate that way. Right? And he hated me because he revealed himself to me, and then I didn't eat his ass. And so everything that he's done is just trying to destroy me in the same way. Right? Subtle, right? Graceful on some level in the beginning. But really sinister, really, really ugly. Doesn't get it. Right? So that was, this was like maybe 15 days of like really aggressive, right? Where he was just burying me in it. Right? And so the grandfather, right? Quentin's father-in-law, who's been dead since 2022, 2021, Sitka Pick, and he was probably a really great guy. I have no doubt that he was a really charming man who lived close to God in his heart. That Daniela, that they came together for a reason. Right? And I have no doubt Quentin charmed him in every way, in every sense. Taking care of his daughter, being a creative, interesting guy. Right? So my point, right? If anyone's been watching all of these videos, right? If we're just like talking about the whole thing, that first essay at the beginning of my novel is called On Magic. And it's maybe 8 pages, 10 pages, thereabouts, right? And so that, right? My point is that he's taking his ghost, right? And so what do I mean when I say ghost? Right? Does this guy just have a tinfoil hat on his head? Right? Does he just like love Alex Jones? Right? A ghost is the vestiges of memory, nothing else. You could say that everything has a kind of memory, and that's true, it must be true. 100% must be true, right? But is it enough to coagulate the full form at the magnetic body of a thing? Right? Trees can't do that. No. Every tree that Sitka Pick ever visited, right? It's all got that little magnetic sort of imprint upon it, right? And vice versa. Right? But there's only, maybe 4 to 10 people, right, who have the psychic capacity to manifest a whole person's visage and physiognomy in the mind. Right? And so what I'm saying is that, like, if his father-in-law was well adjusted psychologically and he wanted for nothing, he was a famous guy, right? The maestro, Sid Capik, right? That if there was nothing wrong with his immortal spirit, then he was gone, right? Then he had moved on, right? That the condition of his knowing, the phenomenon of his knowing, was recorded back into the Almighty. And he, right, became one with the Almighty once more. And by their behavior, which you can always deny, right, they've brought a piece of it back. Right? That this is unequivocal. There's nothing else to say about that. Right? Is it good? Is it bad? Doesn't matter. It occurred. Right? And he'll always deny. Of course, he'll always deny. Like, what can I say? Like, he's never gonna fucking reconcile with me. Right? There's never gonna be a point, right, where the two of us, like, embrace each other and say, oh yes, brother, like, you're a man, I'm a man. Right? And so, in that same way, right, Willow was all bullshit. His daughter's a little girl, right? And that was always his design, to be able to say, look at my cute little girl. Like, she's so sweet and precious. How can this man say these things? Right? Really sick, base stratagems, right? But my point is that now he's created this condition. I suppose I should stop. I've been going forever. Right? That he went out of his way, right? Like, I've done nothing but try to speak plainly with this man, right? And he brought WME as well as Sony and everyone around him into this subtle occult conspiracy that I'm one of a handful of people in the world that could even explain to you in a meaningful way, right? But that's why we're here now.